everybody, welcome to the new catalog and celebration for 2021. I hope everybody had a great Christmas holiday, and I hope everybody had a great New Year's. I didn't do too much. I stayed at home, listened to music, and just relaxed pretty much my whole New Year's. Christmas, I got together with my parents, and that was about it. Just because of COVID, we couldn't do too much, but I'm hoping you are excited for the new catalog. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to show you the cover of the new catalog. So that is the new catalog there. And that catalog goes from January to June 2021. So it goes from, and I'm not going to be able to see the numbers, January the 5th to June 30th. So this catalog starts tomorrow. So anybody who wants to put in an order, I suggest you thinking about what you want and putting it start either tomorrow or on Sunday. And those are the days I'll be putting in orders. You also can do orders yourself online. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. That's fine. And then Sale-A-Bration is here, and that's what we're going to look at today. So Sale-A-Bration goes from January the 5th to February the 28th. So again, that starts tomorrow. So I'm going to be putting in orders tomorrow, so you can give me a call tomorrow after my presentation, and we can do that then. I just wanted to go over a few things. So for these videos, I'm going to do them all week long, so from Monday to Sunday. And I just smudged up my glasses, and we're gonna do prizes. So I have 4 prizes to send to people, and what I will do is send them to your house by mail. I'm not going to be getting people to come pick them up or giving them, like, taking them to people's houses just because of COVID, and so we're gonna try to do it that way because that's a little bit, I think, better for people. Anyway, so we're going to do that, send them to people's houses, and I have 4 prizes. In order to get points for the prizes, you can answer a question each night. So each night after I'm done the presentation, I'm going to give you a question. Just listen into the presentation. They're not like super hard questions. Some of them are a little bit trickier than others. Some of them you can look up. Most of them deal with my presentation. So if as long as you're listening to the presentation, you should be able to get those questions. I would suggest you send those questions either through private messenger on Facebook or through my email. You can get 10 points for putting in an order. So I wouldn't put the order in tonight, it would be tomorrow. So give me a call tomorrow, and then I'll give you the 10 points tomorrow if you want to put in an order. Now, the key thing right now is, because it's Sale-A-Bration, you want to put in at least a $60 order. And that's before taxes and shipping, because then you can get a free item from your Sale-A-Bration catalog. So just remember the $60 to get a free item from there, okay? So 10 points for putting in an order, 1 point for each question, and 5 points for commenting on the end of my video. And you can do that on just any comments any way you want to on Facebook. And you can email me also. So there's a few people that I'm going to send the presentation to by email, and they can also just email me their response. So I just want them to tell me which card they loved best. And this helps me to do other videos during the year. It also helps me to plan out classes. So say if everybody loves a card with a, I don't know, with a baby on it, and everybody wants to do a baby card, then I know that for planning for the year I would do that. So that helps me out, and it also gives me good feedback. So again, 1 point for each question, 10 points for putting in an order, 5 points for commenting on each video about one of the cards that I've displayed. So I told you that Sale-A-Bration goes from January 5th to February 20th, 2021 this year. So it's a short time period. So I suggest if you want anything out of the Sale-A-Bration flyer, that you put in that order as soon as you can, so you can get some of those free items. The free items are wonderful, so I'll show you some samples of those. So for my shipping, for any orders people put in this year, I'm going to ship it right to your house. So I'm not going to have people pick them up here just because of COVID. Our landlord is pretty, doesn't really like when people are coming to my door picking things up. They're just a little bit, just because like the landlord, his mom and dad are very elderly and he doesn't want them to get sick. So I totally understand why he's like that, but I'd rather ship it right to your house. So that's what's going to happen. And if you don't have either the Sale-A-Bration flyer or the mini catalog, you can just contact me and I can send them to you. So a lot of people I send the catalogs to are by, I send them by mail when through Stampin' Up. But if you do not get one of those, either of those catalogs, and you do want one, let me know and I can mail them to your house. Okay. So it's for people who put put in a order. So whatever order you put in, I will send those books for free if you need those books. If you don't put in an order, it's $3 to ship those books to you, okay? Just wanted to go over that kind of stuff. So, let's start with the first set one of the first sets I bought, or I got free from the Sale-A-Bration catalog, was the corner bouquet stamp. So that's that one there. For some reason I have big shine off of my computer tonight. So the nice part about this, and the reason I loved it, was because this one, or both of them, one's smaller, one's bigger. The reason I love them is because, and somebody should not be calling me right now because that's not very helpful. Anyways, so what happens is they're silhouettes. So what the thing is I love the most about Stampin' Up! Was they've done a lot of silhouette stamps, and I love silhouettes. And my favorite technique to do with the silhouettes is this technique here. So it's a sunrise or sunset technique, depending on which way you're wanting to talk, but that's my favorite. So that one, this one here, I'm moving all my sets around. This one is the True Love Designer Series paper. So the True Love Designer Series paper is on page 11 of your mini catalog, and it is black and white. So you can see it there. I didn't color this one in. Other samples that I've used, I've colored them in, but that one is just black and white. So sometimes you can use it just black and white, or you can color it in. So it's a lot of fun. So it makes a really pretty sunset with that technique, and that is my favorite technique. So the second one I'm going to show you is a Flowers and Fields DSP that I used on this one. So it's the stamp set there, and I used the Flowers and Field Designer Series paper. Now the Flowers and Field Designer Series paper is also a free item, so I'm going to show you that also. But like I said, this one I did with this technique is, so what you do is you take your markers, your Stampin' Write markers, and then you color in, and then you just stamp down. A lot of people love this technique. I know my friend Kim, she always buys the markers each year, when they change every year, and then that's how she stamps a lot of her stuff, and it's a very, very pretty technique. I also used on here the layering circle dies. And the butterfly wishes stamp for the birthday wishes there. And then the third sample is I use the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper. And the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper is on page 33 of the Mini Catalogue. And I use the Stitch So Sweetly dies, so those are the ones there. They have a little like stitches, and they plus have the little like bumps around it. So it's a very pretty way of stamping, or pretty way of displaying your image. And the Fine Art Floral DSP is on page 33 of the Mini Catalogue. And I also use the Positive Thoughts stamp. So that's that one there. I wanted a stamp that went, down the page. And so that's one there that goes down. So it kind of balances out the other side. And hopefully I'm not moving too much. So those are my 3 samples with the corner bouquet stamp set. And the next thing we're going to look at is the Flowers and Fields Designer Series paper. So that Designer Series paper is on page 10 of your Stampin' your Sale-A-Bration flyer. So that is, I'm going to show you all the papers first, and then I'm going to show you my samples. And I'm also going to show you some of the stamps I used from the large catalog, because sometimes we get so focused on what we have, and so when you don't have things, like when you can't afford, say, in January to buy 10 stamp sets, sometimes you'll have to use some of your old stamp sets. So a lot of times I will buy paper and I will use it with as many of my older stamp sets from the my like large catalog, the annual catalog. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. So again, it's the Flowers and Fields Designer Series paper, and some of these only have little sheets of. They are 12 by 12. So that's one side. Oops. And we're getting a little bit of fuzziness. Sorry about that. And I love it because they have flowers on one side. They have leaves. So flowers, and then a pattern on the other side that matches up. When I first saw this paper, I didn't love it. It wasn't my favorite. And when I got it and I started using it, I realized that it went with so many stamp sets that I really do love it now. So there again is the flowers, and then they have a pattern on the back. Alrighty, so let's look at some of those samples. So the first one I'm going to show you is using the Beautiful Moment stamp set. So that's that one there. This is one of my favorite stamp sets because it reminds me of me and my cousin when, right here, me and my cousin when we were little. We would go to the beach all the time together and dig and play in the water, and we had such a great time. But that's picture reminds me of us when we were little, so I really like that one. But I didn't use that for my sample. I used this one for my sample. And I thought when I was using the Granny Apple Green for this one, I thought, what am I going to use? Like, what kind of picture am I going to use? And what's going to blend together with the Granny Apple Green? Because it's a like almost a fluorescent color green, and it's not my favorite color because I don't know what to do with it. It's a little too bright for me, and I don't know what to do with it. So anyways, I used the lady and I put her in a purple dress, so, and the purple really goes really well with the granny apple green, so that's what I used for her. My second sample for this one is using the Prize Peony. And this one is my mom's favorite stamp set right now. It was funny over a few months ago, she says, everybody's getting a peony for their birthday, everybody. And I'm like, you get a peony, you get a peony, everybody gets a peony. So anyways, it was pretty funny, but yeah, it's a very pretty stamp set. And I use the blue, so it's not typical to use probably blue peonies, but I used this blue paper, and so I made a blue peony. And I also, with that one, I used the Peony dies. I also use the story label punch. So that's the story label punch here. And I'll also show you in another video that, if I can find it quickly. There's a stamp set that's out of the book, and that's what I used for this one here. So that's and I didn't write it down. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. Anyways, this stamp set, I'll show you in another video how we can use these sayings in all of our labels. But anyways, that's that one. And then I did the Wildly Happy. I think this one's super cute. It's a great one to use for a new baby, but it's also great for Mother's Day or Father's Day, because there's no, like, some of the stamp sets are gender basic, like gender, like more masculine or more feminine, and these are not. So you can use them for Mother's Day or Father's Day, which is awesome. And I use the dotted paper for that one. And I actually made in the sweetest baby part, I actually made a mistake. So I cut the paper off, and then I just did it like that instead. So I just balanced it out a little bit. So don't worry if you ever make a mistake. It's easy to fix. And then my last sample is the Timeless Tulips. So that's that stamp set there. And the Timeless Tulips comes with the Tulip Builder Punch, and I was going to call it the wrong thing. So that's the Tulip Builder Punch there. And I made this card, which I was fairly proud of because I made my own vase, and the ribbon matched like with all the paper, so I was very happy with that card. So this is a Just J 1/4 ribbon, and then I also used the window sheet so it looked like a vase or a vase, whatever you want to call it. And then I stamped with the stamp set with the big flowers here, and then with the leaves here, and then I just punched it out with my punch. So I think that's the end of my presentation tonight. I hope you can come join me tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And the question for this video, for video number 1, is what is Melissa's favorite technique? and I said it a few times during the presentation, so hopefully you understood what I said. And if not, you can also go back and look over the video after we are done, and you can do that. And I'm also going to take my samples and I'll share them in like a form on Facebook just so you can see them, because sometimes I know what I do, like when I see somebody else's sample, sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to create that. So I thought, well, I'll give you my samples, and then if you wanted to buy the paper and buy the stamp sets to create it, you could. So thank you so much for joining me. Again, the question is, what is Melissa's favorite technique? And come and join me on tomorrow at 6 p.m. and hopefully you will love my presentations and you will love my samples, and we will see you then. Have a great night, and thank you for joining me.